Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the queen of joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I hope you all are doing well today. It is Tuesday, May the 10th, 2022, and Mother Nature here in Florence, Alabama has finally gotten her shit together. Hello, amen. Listen, a couple weeks ago, we were pendulum swing during the day from 30 degrees something in the morning to 80 degrees something in the afternoon. Can we math together here? We've mathed this before, but let's math together one more time, okay? We've got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That is 50 degrees different, boys and girls, in the same day. I cannot with that. But this week, the entire 10-day forecast is either sunny or partly sunny and only going from the 60s to the 80s. Amen. I hope it's better wherever you are in the world as well. We're finally getting it together here, though we did kind of swing pretty hard from winter to summer. High 80s is a little much for your girl. Okay. I am a very hot natured person. I cannot sometimes. All right. 51 degrees and sunny in my hometown of Groton, Connecticut, 55 in Toronto. Don't forget, this is Fahrenheit. We don't do that kind of math in the morning. 78 and beautiful. Do we expect anything else with our friends in Nairobi, Kenya? 47 and cloudy. I see no snow no, wait a minute. Flurries on Thursday in Iceland. Okay, Evander, what is going on over there? Let me know. 55 degrees and cloudy in Scotland with our friend Kat. So listen, we are back to that rip current warning in Miami, Florida. You guys, 75 and cloudy. Jackson, stay out of the water. Okay, we don't need anything happening up there. In the 50s and 40s, it seems, where all of our other friends are in West Virginia, in Michigan, and all of that. 72 and cloudy in Memphis, Tennessee, 65 and mostly sunny in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 77 where our friend Dorothy is in Brussels, Belgium. Okay, I'm glad that Mother Nature's getting herself together over here. All right. Listen, I'm very excited here that we have our friend Laura Mazzotta coming back on the show today. Her series on Tuesdays throughout May has been talking about empowerment. We talked about personal empowerment last Tuesday. Today, we are talking about relationship empowerment. So she'll be talking about that coming up here. Also, I made a mistake yesterday. Okay. I said business empowerment. I did not mean that. I put the wrong graphic on the screen. Listen, you guys, I try. So it is relationship empowerment today. My bad. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see what else is going on today around the world. So my joy this morning, I'm sad today, I'll be honest with you, because I had been watching I shared with you guys a few times last week. I've been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case through attorney Emily D. Baker here on YouTube, and it has been a fabulous time. So it's less about the actual case and more about I am fascinated by the court proceedings. Okay. And so the court is dark this week. That is apparently when court is not in session. And so I haven't had anything to watch this week. Here's my other thing. I shared with you guys that I was binge watching Dawson's Creek with my daughter because it was going to be going off of Netflix. I didn't end up finishing it on Netflix in time. So thank God Hulu had it so I could finish it as well. But we have Hulu with commercials. So that was a little, you go from no commercials to commercials, but I digress. I had never seen season 6 of Dawson's Creek. I never saw the end back when that show was on. Any other Dawson's Creek fans here or anybody that has actually seen the whole series, let me know. I had no idea. I'm not going to tell you what the end was, but I was not happy with it. I had no idea how the show was going to turn out. And I was like, what in the world? Who came up with this? Who came up with this ending? It wasn't me. I'll tell you that much. It was not me. But what will bring me a lot of joy is if I can let me know if you guys have any recommendations of something to watch, because look what I did to my hair. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations of something to watch, because we have Decision Day on Married at First Sight happening on Wednesday. So I'm excited to see that. We have, I'm still waiting for Handmaid's Tale. No clue when that's going to come back. We are on break from The Walking Dead. Listen, there's nothing going on here. Okay, so I don't have any of my usual joy things going on. I'm still very much enjoying. Oh, I shared with you yesterday that for Mother's Day, my oldest got me this Ninja flip toaster thingy. You can toaster and then it flips down, and then you can broil things and everything. I had reheated my baked ziti from from Mother's Day in there, and it worked beautifully. So recommend the Ninja flip thingy. I can't remember the name of it to save the life of me. So just Google Ninja flip thingy, and I'm sure it'll come up for you. Okay. Let's see who's here this morning, because I've obviously lost my mind. Juju's here this morning. Good morning, Juju. Good to see you. Amanda is here today. Namaste. I gave you a follow yesterday, by the way. Juju and I were talking about you, and I was like, I got to go follow her. So I went and followed you yesterday, and I'm excited about looking at your content. Your videos are fire. I am all into the astrology and woo-woo-ish as well. So very excited to be a part of that with you. Chelsea's here this morning. Good morning, Chelsea. It is good to see you today. Yes, the weather's happening there in New York as well. Let's see who else is here today. 60s to 90s here in Texas. Chelsea says, Mother Nature still need to get herself together over there today. I can't with the 90s. When it passes 82-ish, your girl is not happy. Not happy. Amanda said, this case really does something to me. I've been watching it, and they both need healing and help. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I am so I'm so fascinated by the court stuff. I don't know. It's like watching, and I love SVU and some of the other shows like that. So it's just like, listen, if you Google Ninja flip thingy, I promise you it will come up. Okay. I have no responsibility if other things come up. Okay. All right. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. 92 degrees for the high in Texas today. We are past Jessica appreciation when we get into the 90s. Okay. I cannot, I try real hard to find the joy and the gratitude. It's hard. I usually those days I promise you I'm grateful for the air conditioner. Okay. That is what's going on. All right, let's talk about national days really quick. Let's find out. Let me know if you guys are celebrating anything in particular today. Today is May 10th. So for those of you that need the reminder, actually I did this last weekend, so I was ahead of the times here. It is National Clean Up Your Room Day. Anybody need that? Anyone need that today? Do you clean up your room today? Okay. It is also National Washington Day. Did you know that every state has a national day? I don't know if you knew this, but it is National Washington Day. Many states have their own state celebrations. And so today is National Washington Day, recognizing the evergreen state. And so happy Washington Day to all of you that live in Washington. There you go. What else is going on today? It is also World Lupus Day. World Lupus Day. So sending love to anyone out there who deals with lupus or has a loved one that deals with lupus as well. So letting you know that that's a day today too. Let me know if there's anything in particular you're celebrating today. Also, let me know if you have a birthday going on to chat with you about that later in the episode. We have a very good friend of ours here at the Breakthrough Show, and a TikTok friend of mine who is celebrating a birthday today. So I will be happy to honor him later in the show as well. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, you guys, and be right back after this with our very special guest. Returning guest, we're going to get empowered next segment. Don't go anywhere. Laura Mazzotta is coming up next. We'll be right back. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing. Healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Today is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. And I want to remind you to join our community, our growing community, sometimes, listen, I can't even say it. What happens there stays there. Join our Discord server to chat with other fans, meet Pats, Cats, and hosts from the Breakthrough Show Network. Just go to bit.ly/Discord Breakthrough, bit.ly/Discord Breakthrough. Our supporters have a Pomodoro work session coming up at 8 a.m. Central Time this morning, right after this show. And we have it open to our general chat community, our free community, tomorrow at the same time. So be sure to come and join us for that. Get some GSD, get shit done in the company of friends. So we have our friend, an empowerment specialist, our confidence queen, our Akashic Records goddess, joining us back on the show this morning to dive further into the world of empowerment. Let us welcome back to the show, Laura Mazzotta. Welcome back, Laura.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm fabulous. And now I need a nap because that was a lot of energy to bring you on the show today.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I kind of feel like I need to put on my cape after that intro.
I know it. I'm so glad to have you back today. And everybody has been loving your clip that we had from the show last week on the TikTok. We love the TikTok. And so I'm glad everybody is getting a little taste, but you've got to go back and watch the whole thing because it was so good. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to have you back today to talk about empowerment in relationships, because I feel like we started to kind of dip our toe into that pool last week, but we were like, let's save it for this week, which I'm excited about. To recap a moment for everybody, will you just briefly share what the word empowerment means to you?
Yeah, it's really about we were talking last time about taking that full responsibility for our reality, anything that comes into our reality, because when we do that, we're not blaming ourselves. What we're doing is we're saying, I'm in full control of my next steps, of who I become, of who I am. And as we take on more and more of that understanding, deep understanding of ourselves and the context from which we came, the more empowered we're going to be. And it
Yeah.
also includes, there's one other piece that really includes focusing on where you want to go, you know, because we can easily get distracted by all the humans and all the things and all the squirrels, right? And so it's good to have our eyes on what we're moving toward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if this empowerment has to do with us, it becomes sort of a challenge for us, I think, to think about empowerment in relationships, because it's not just about us anymore. And so we're like, how can we, when we know we can't control other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, okay, how do we, I feel like there's some sort of delicate balance between being empowered in a relationship and just being an ass. I mean, can I say that?
You can say that. You can say anything you want.
It's my show.
It is your show. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what being empowered in a relationship actually looks like.
Yeah. So I think the first thing to share about this is the importance of having your own personal boundaries. Don't think about boundaries in terms of, you know, I'm having boundaries with this person or with that person or in this situation, because it's freaking confusing. It's overwhelming. And it's actually so much more empowering for you to just set boundaries for yourself. Like, this is what I'm available for. This is what I'm not available for. This includes setting boundaries with yourself in terms of how you take care of yourself, how you use your time, things like that. But when we have a boundary for us and we know clearly what we're moving toward and who we are and what we stand for, then no matter what relationships come into our lives, our boundaries are already set. It's not like we have to set a new one for each person depending on who they are, because that can just be, I mean, all sorts of confusing.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, I think sometimes we need to do that. My boundaries with certain family member relationships may be very different than, say, the boundaries with my husband or the boundaries with my kids or the boundaries with a friend, or, you know, but I think you're right. It can get exhausting to be like, to always evaluate, like, it's this person. Okay. And what do I need to do in this circumstance?
Right.
And it's this person. Like, that's exhausting.
It is exhausting. And it's easier to say, this is what I'm available for. This is what I'm not. And then whoever it is, whatever role they play in your life, if they do things you're not available for, then it's simple. I'm not available for that. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Absolutely.
I was actually going to say the same thing around, it depends on the relationship. And not in terms of the boundaries that you set, because you want those to be for yourself. But like, for instance, it's a lot harder for me to step into empowerment as a parent.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
are we going there? We're going there. Okay.
Happy Tuesday, Jessica. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, because really it's funny. Like, that's the most challenging, because man, I'll let my kids boss my ass around. Like, dude, they're bossier than anybody in my life. So I'm like, dude, if I can find my power with my damn kids, I can be empowered anywhere.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's so true. And no one, I was thinking about this the other day, and watch this be the one show my kids watch. God bless it.
I know.
Okay. So I'm just going to be honest. Nobody prepares you. The other day I was thinking about this. Nobody prepares you for the heartache that comes when your child, like, doesn't like something you do, or doesn't, it's a different kind of rejection feeling than with other people. And I try to teeter the line between the cool mom and the cringy mom. Like, I'm trying to, like, not, it's hard because I came on TikTok just to be the cringy mom, and now I love it. But anyway, but no one prepares you for that. And I think sometimes, yes, right. Amanda said it hurts your soul.
It does.
It does. And then I find myself more challenged being empowered as a parent, because now my feelings are hurt.
I know. And I just experienced this the other day, because of course I have an adolescent. They're the best at this. And so, yeah. And it's really about me then. So what did Laura Mazzotta do? Classic Laura Mazzotta. Is I'm just like, all right, what does this reflect in me? You know, all the BS. So I'm like, all right. So I'm hurt by my 15-year-old. Wah, wah. So I'm like, all right, I need to adjust not only my expectations, but my level of reliance on her liking me. Right. And it's not about like as much as it's that rejection that you feel, even if you're not consciously feeling upset, right? Like you feel that like right here, you know? Yeah, key. I totally agree. Open communication is key.
Yeah, I allow mine to tell me when I do something. So here's the thing about that. And this is what I said to my kids. I tell my kids the same thing. Like, please tell me all the things. The door is open.
Yep.
Let's talk. Let's communicate, all of that. But what I explained to them one day, sometimes they don't like my reaction when we do talk. And what I have shared with them is that I am human too, and we are all going to have an initial reaction. I cannot guarantee them that when they do share something with me, that I'm not going to be hurt, disappointed, angry, scared, happy, sad, whatever emotion whatever I feel in the moment. It's a very human thing for me to do. So I said, but that reaction doesn't change my unconditional love for you. Like, it doesn't change me being your mom. It doesn't, but just as you are allowed to have your reaction and have your opinions and slam the doors and all of that, I can have mine too. Not that I'm slamming doors and whatnot, but there's moments I'm tempted.
I really want to watch you slamming doors and watch the hair flip. That's what I want. I want the hair flip.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just had this conversation with my son the other night because he did something that was hurtful to me. And I said to him, I was like, listen, you know, I get that you feel guilty, but you were kind of guided as to what you could have done differently. And you still chose this route. And so therefore my feelings are hurt. So I am not here to fix your guilt around it. Right? Like, I am here to manage my hurt. You go manage your guilt. I love you so much. We'll come back together and snuggle and be besties. However, I'm not going to keep moving through your guilt about hurting me when you did so consciously. Right.
Right.
And so it's a fascinating unfolding as a parent. It really is, because once you figure it out, then they grow to the next phase and then you got to figure it out again.
Absolutely. And Amanda's agreeing with you. We're having accountability. Yes, absolutely. One of the relationship topics I wanted to, good morning, Anne Marie. It is good to see you today. No, you're not late. You're just on time. So I want to talk about, empowerment in relationships when it comes to friendships and online relationships, because we blur a lot of lines now. Between, like, you and I have been clients of each other. We have been friends. We have been book club members. We've worn a lot of different hats over the years together. And that can be really challenging when it comes to being empowered, because I feel like we have to feel out the moment. We have to feel out what role are we playing in this particular moment? Who is the person and how do they, like, for me, it's important to be like, if I knew that Laura did not was triggered by something I did, because I care about Laura, I'm not going to purposely do that shit to piss her off. I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
But there's all of these different lines that are blurred. How do we sort of navigate all of those? It's just a lot. It's a lot now compared to what it used to be.
It is. And I think it really comes from your own clarity, you know, like who you are, what your values are, where you want to go. Again, like I was talking about earlier, because I go with my gut in every conversation. You know, I go with what I feel in my body and what I feel intuitively. And that's what I allow to guide me. There's no rules, you know, it's not like, well, there's rules in this relationship, there's different rules in another relationship. You know, I play by where my intuition is guiding me, because it's always going to be guiding me in the direction that I'm meant to go. And that's really in the highest good for everybody. So I think that the more that you can spend time with yourself and get really clear on what it is you value and where you want to go, that muscle is going to get strengthened, that intuitive muscle. And you're going to have that clarity no matter what situation you're in. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I think like it's a controlling your own vibration and having
Yes.
faith in your own intuition as well. Yes, absolutely. I think when as we're talking about relationships, it obviously all comes back to your self
Mhm.
empowerment and like you said, setting those boundaries for yourself and just going, this is what I'm going to participate in and this is what I'm not going to participate in,
Mhm.
period, end of story. um but sometimes I have had, you know, for people that I've known a long time, I might let certain things slide. Like we might have, a certain kind of humor
Right.
in those relationships. And then if it tries to come up, if it tries to sneak in on some of these new relationships, I'm like, you don't know me like that.
Mhm.
Don't try to go there. And so it's funny to me to look at the relationships and be like, what have I allowed? Have I allowed my own personal boundaries and what I want out of life to slide just because I've known the nostalgia of a relationship?
Yeah, and so I that's where choosing yourself first
Yeah.
always comes forward, right? It's like choosing yourself first, that no matter what role they play when they come into your world, it's like, how does this make me feel? Right? And if this makes me feel excited and expansive and like, yeah, let's go, then let's go. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't, then I'm like, I don't know that I have space for that right now. And then it's not me being a jerk. It's just me saying, like, hey, thanks for coming in and checking in. I'll give you a ring, or let's chat tomorrow, or whatever, or let's chat
Mhm.
later. It's really about honoring, choosing your own peace, choosing your own vibe, like Amanda was saying, right? Like
Yeah.
making that a priority, because the reality is that relationship empowerment is 100% about getting your vibration into a space where you're rippling it out into other people. And then you're going to be attracting those empowered, authentic relationships. Like I have relationships that are super empowered,
Mm.
which basically means that, like, when shit goes down for either of us, we're very consciously able to shift that and support each other in a way that doesn't involve getting hurt, because we trust and know each other's intentions.
Right.
And I
Right.
trust my own. And I think self-trust is the big key when it comes to relationship empowerment, because
Right.
you're saying, like, I trust the direction I'm going. I trust my feedback from my body and myself
Mm.
to be able to choose each interaction.
Mm. And I'm so good in the moment of here's my admitting things moment. I'm so good in the moment of being like, I am empowered. I am a goddess. I can say goodbye to this relationship. It's fabulous. I feel so good about the path I'm on. And then 15 minutes later, I go, oh shit. Did I make the right choice? Did I
Uh-huh.
do? And here's the thing. So I had there was a girl that I was friends with for a long time growing up. And I have shared 150 times on on this show, on in our Discord community, and I am a very nostalgic person. For me, I have had to do what you guys are talking about of choosing yourself first, because I have allowed toxicity to exist simply because I've known them for a long time or whatever the situation is. And so I had a girl that I was friends with for the longest time growing up. And I kind of recognized throughout the last few years, looking back, that we were only really friends because our families knew each other. There was never I never felt super like, oh my God, she's my best friend. I never really felt that for her, but I did feel a sense of obligation to be her friend because our families knew each other and you better be nice to her. You're grounded and, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so something came up a couple years ago where it was right when the pandemic started going on, and the she had I had posted something on social media, and in typical her form, she comes on and she just starts tearing me apart for the opinion that I had. And I was like, I literally had this moment where I'm like, we have been doing this for 30 years.
Mhm.
we have, and not in so, because obviously social media wasn't a thing back then,
Right.
but we have literally been doing this for 30 years, and I am not in the market to do this anymore. And so I literally went through and just deleted. I deleted her post. I deleted her. And I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And she got so mad to the point of where she was like hunting me down in other places that we followed each other and being like, what's wrong with you, etc. And so it was challenging because she was saying things like, I can't believe you. We've been friends for so long. And holding me to that nostalgia that I'm so good at. And I'm like, oh, she's trying to get me to go back there, and I don't want to go back there. But it was so hard because I was so proud of myself in the moment. Like, absolutely, this is my boundary. We are not doing this anymore. And then I'm back questioning things because she's like, I can't believe you would, after knowing each other for so long. And I'm like, this is what I was afraid of.
Yeah. And I got like that really, that's grief coming up. You know, it's grief around, it's grieving a couple things. It's the relationship, which comes with that bargaining phase, right? Of back and forth of like, oh, should I not? Should I not? Right? It comes with that. But it's also the loss of, it's you grieving the previous version of yourself, right? And also grieving the part of you that accepted that shit, right? And that just kind of blindly took on a relationship. And although you'd think, well, why would I need to grieve that if it doesn't serve me? But it was still a part of you. It was still so intertwined with who you were that you didn't even recognize it consciously. You know what I mean? And so that's a grief process. And it's one that, like, yeah, you're going to go through questioning and anger. And that's not the point to focus on. The point to focus on is what do you do with it? Right? Like, once that comes up, then it's being able to love yourself through that and have compassion and reminders of who you are and what you stand for and where you're going.
Right. Let's talk about for a moment that hard part of when you realize a relationship has run its course. You don't have anything in common anymore. I swear to you, this has been like my life lesson. And it's so hard for me because, like I said, I'm a very nostalgic person. I don't like to let people go. I like to just, but for me, there's almost like, I wish there was that clear, like, it's over, rather than letting things float on and you don't really know what's going on kind of thing. So my question for you is, do you feel like those clean breaks are possible and or necessary? And if so, how do we approach it? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
You know, I think that clean breaks are possible. I think that it depends on the relationship. I think that there are a lot of situations that I've seen, especially being a therapist for 20 years, of people cutting off their family. And I think that there's a place for that, for sure. And sometimes that's necessary, especially when there is abuse going on, and even especially active abuse going on. So I get that. And you may need some time to heal where you're kind of separated from them. But I think where some people can go wrong is that they use that time when they're separated from them to rile themselves up and justify themselves, right? Where that they're right to be making this shift, rather than really allowing it to be, okay, this person, we chose each other in this lifetime. Our souls chose to do this life together. That means they were meant to piss me off and I was meant to piss them off in whatever way, right? And so what are the lessons that are coming forward here? And I think as you can extract those and understand them more for yourself, you're going to feel more empowered. You're going to take responsibility for any role you played, even if the role you played was just being present, right? Sometimes the role that we play is literally just being present. Like, I set off a lot of people by being the loud, boisterous, like, inspirational person that I am, right? And so after you do that on your own, you're then left in a place where you can reevaluate. So I don't think it has to be I'm done forever. It can be I'm done until I integrate these lessons. And then after I've integrated them and understood how they fit into my path, I then get to decide whether or not moving forward, this relationship can serve me in a different capacity. So I think it's kind of identifying where you can redefine roles and where you can make a clean break. I think that a lot of times a clean break can be an escape mechanism. And we don't want that to just be running away and avoiding.
I love that, redefining roles, because it's something that I don't think a lot of us consider in the moment. We're heated, we're upset about whatever's going on, and or maybe even we're just in that sort of neutral place where we're like, look, I haven't even talked to this person in 15 years. Like, it's just weird at this point. And so whether we're in that neutral place or we're upset, we might be thinking that we're only seeing the black and white. The choice is either to stay or go, continue or not. And that there's, you're saying that there's other things to consider, like that there just might play a different role in our lives. So I love that perspective.
Exactly. I mean, I have a family member who was estranged from the family for 13 years and recently came back, and it was, both of us have done our own healing work. So we're in a completely different place, and I found a lot of those feelings coming up when that person came back into my life around, like, it was like PTSD reaction, to be honest with you. It was very much like, oh my gosh, what if she's coming in and then she's just going to hurt me again? And you know what I mean? Like, all of that comes up, but it's just telling my nervous system, that's an old story. I don't need to attach to that anymore. I get to choose a new story. This is who she is now. This is who I am now. And choosing to trust that pull and knowing that my intuition keeps guiding me to open those doors and allow my arms to be open, even though it feels a little scary. For me, it's like, she's done her healing work. I've done mine. Let's see.
Absolutely. So when we're in these relationships and we kind of have those roles laid out, and how do we sort of handle when my role or my idea of the roles in a relationship might look different than your ideas look for our relationship? Like, how do we sort of navigate that with each other? Do we sit and we have a conversation? Do we write out the rules? What do we do, Laura?
Yeah. I mean, again, it depends on the person. Like, it's funny because I've had people where it's been a little bit more unspoken, like, I'm just very clear about, when I'm available, what I'm available for or not. And people say, like, hey, can you do this or that? And it's like, I kind of make those decisions last minute based on what my body's communicating to me, and I just kind of own it as myself. So I think the more you can own it for yourself and just use, like, what we say in the therapy world, I statements, use the I statements. Well, I don't feel comfortable doing that, or right? Because then the other person doesn't feel rejected. They don't feel blamed, etc. But it's funny because I had a friend in grad school who, just the most social butterfly on the planet, right? Texting me all the time, calling me all the time. And finally, I just had to say to her, babe, I love you so much. Like, I love being your friend. I can't keep up this level of socialization. Like, I love you so much, but just so you know, I'm like 90% introverted. And I don't want you to feel rejected when I don't write back to you. But, like, dude, I just can't. Like, I only have a certain amount of bandwidth, and I love you, but, like, I don't know what to say. And she loved that because it was so honest. And we're still friends to this day, like 20 years later, because she appreciates that we're different people, and she doesn't take it personally, and neither do I.
Right. And that's what I appreciate even more in my life now, is the communication. I would rather someone say to me, I'm not as social as you. I'm not going to answer you back. FYI, if you message me 20 times, I'm probably not going to read it. I'm not going to answer. I would rather someone say that than to feel the amount of rejection I feel when I reach out and there's zero answer.
I know.
Because it hurts.
Exactly.
We think all the things, like, our minds are running like, oh, what have I done? How could I have done things differently? It's horrible.
I know. And that's us getting into a narrative. And I love hear what Robin's saying too, around the guilt that comes with setting those boundaries and saying those things, because I'll tell you, that's the number one reason for avoidance, is that people don't want to feel the guilt. They're trying to avoid the guilt because it's so painful. Friends, guilt is like the number one habitual emotion. Okay. It is not warranted 99.9% of the time. Right. And so I encourage you, set the boundary anyway, and then love yourself through the guilt, because that's how you change the pattern. Otherwise you are people pleasing with the guilt. It's like, well, I'm going to make the guilt happy so it doesn't come and piss me off. So I'm just going to avoid this. Right. And then we end up not growing and having the relationships we desire.
Right. I know Anne Marie was talking about, I'm learning to say no. I can't do that, especially with my business. I will refer them to someone who can. I am tired of stressing myself out. I think we all feel that, and I am excited because I think it's next week that we're going to be talking about business leadership type empowerment as well. So I'm excited about that. If it's not next week, it'll be at one of the weeks before we finish out. And yes, Juju said, I'd rather someone being direct than to feel hurt that don't communicate at all. I'm exactly the same. I would much rather feel that sting in the moment and deal with whatever comes up for me than to sit and wonder, because that space to just flop around in it does not feel very good.
Yeah. And so I think that in that situation too, it's about you taking charge of your vibe, right? Where you're either really redirecting and trusting the universe and trusting that this interaction is going to serve you in the way that it's meant to, or you reach out and say, dude, where'd you go? Hi. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, go get what you want. It's funny because my 15-year-old is like, when she was younger, well, do you ask somebody out or do they ask you out when you want to go out on a date? And I was like, dude, I asked everybody out. I was like, if I like somebody, I was like, hey, you're cute. Let's go out on a date. And she's like, oh, I could never do that. Yeah. You know, and it's just so funny because I'm a big proponent of going for what you want, because you learn about yourself faster. You move faster. You might get some stings along the way, but then you learn quickly.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And that's one of the things that we talked about on Friday on what would have been my brother's birthday. He was that person. He did not give a rat's ass what anybody thought. He just went for it all the time. And I was so jealous of that growing up. I was so jealous of that because I was always so worried about what'll happen if they say no, what'll happen if and I didn't want to feel that yuckiness that comes up when you're rejected. I never wanted to feel that. And so now it's kind of a funny place to be in because I'm doing that more, but people don't expect that from me. And so then I do, and they're like, who are you? What have you done with Jessica? Where'd you go? I don't know. Yes, vocalize your wants and needs. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think what goes with that, Juju, too, is, what you were kind of on the heels, what you were just saying, Jess, like, when things shift in you, it's also communicating that to people around you, right. And it's funny because sometimes I won't do that. And my husband will be like, what's this? Part of you. And I was just like, oh yeah. Like I set a new boundary for myself and this is what, and he's just like, could you just communicate that shit, please? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll do that next time.
Yeah. I mean, I've said that before. We don't make open, honest, and raw communication like that, right? A thing in relationships. We really don't. We're just like, oh, we'll just let it just go. We'll just do it and don't worry about it. Do it and ask questions later, kind of thing. But it goes back to what I was saying before. If I really care about you and I want to understand you and I want you to understand me, then wouldn't it be nice, easier, better, bring more ease to the relationship if you just say, hey, like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm doing this right now. And I just wanted you to know because you mean something to me.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
It's not hard, but we make it hard.
And it's loving. Honestly, it just, think about the level of ease that gives the other person on the other end. Like, think about the gift that you're giving them and you're automatically giving it to yourself by communicating that. But like, they feel, it just takes pressure off the relationship. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I am excited to continue to dive in further to the empowerment that we have been talking about on the next couple Tuesdays. We have 2 more Tuesdays with you. We're going to do a little, I think the 24th, you have a retreat, right?
Yes, my first retreat. I'm so excited.
Yes. We're very excited. Very excited. Do you still have room? Are you still taking people?
Yes. We have virtual tickets too, which is exciting.
Oh, that's exciting. All right. You guys can go to emergehealingandwellness.com. I'm sure there's information on there, right?
Yeah. Just go to, I think it's the Work With Me tab and you can find the retreat. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. So she will be absent here on the show, but I guess for good reason on the 24th. But we are going to have a special guest that day. We're going to be talking about gratitude, which I'm excited about as well. But we're going to be back next Tuesday, the 17th, and then finishing out the month on the 31st as well. What's better finishing out the month of May than something about empowerment?
I agree.
That's it. I want to thank you, Laura, for being here with us again today, my friend. And people can go to emergehealingandwellness.com to learn more about how to work with Laura. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with today, Laura?
I just think that it's important for you to get clearer on the breadcrumbs that are being dropped in by the universe, by your intuition. Start to keep your eyes peeled for that, because the clearer that you can be on where you're being led, the more empowered you're going to feel personally and in relationship with yourself and with the universe. That's it.
Love it. That's it. Just a little breadcrumb. Laura, thank you so much for being back with us again today, my friend. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back. We're going to talk birthdays. We're going to talk about, I have an important announcement for you guys. And we're also going to hear the For Love poem by Dorothy Auger in French today by Ilaria. So we'll be right back after this. Hang tight, everybody.
Hey, hands looking a little plain there. That's okay though, I got you. Just head over to Nail Beauty by Brittany. Wait, don't tell me you don't know who she is. That's okay, that's fine. It's a good thing that Dot's here. I'm here to tell you. Nail Beauty by Brittany is an upcoming establishment that makes everyone's hands look pretty to boost your confidence throughout your daily basis. You get all these custom nails at a very affordable price. With proper care, these nails can last up to 3 weeks. If you head over to Brittany's social media, you'll see all of the custom nails that she has made thus far at a very affordable price. To receive updates on new nail sets and deals, head over to Miss Brittany's new website at nailbeautybybrittany.com. This company was made by this beautiful young woman here, Miss Brittany. Now y'all go over ahead and get your nails pretty, y'all. I'm showing enough in.
J'ai choisi l'amour, même le cœur lourd, même l'âme brisée. J'ai choisi l'amour parce que le monde est déchiré. Pas juste mon petit pays où je suis plutôt en sécurité, où je suis plutôt bien, mais le monde tout entier, chaque jour. J'ai choisi l'amour et je puise dans cette lumière la force de rester debout pour transformer la violence et mettre fin aux guerres. J'ai choisi l'amour pour que nos enfants soient saufs, pour que nos amis soient à l'abri, pour que nos frontières s'ouvrent. J'ai choisi l'amour, même le corps lourd, même l'âme brisée.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. That was the For Love poem by Dorothy Auger, read beautifully in French this morning by Ilaria. Ilaria speaks several languages, and you've seen her before speak Italian, and that is French, and we love her versions of the poem. So you can visit weshallstandforlove.world and learn more about the For Love project. Also, thank you, Juju, for standing for love with us this morning. And also you can visit our friend Brittany at nailbeautybybrittany.com. What do we have going on this morning? We have birthdays to share, but I also have an important announcement. This afternoon, we were supposed to be having Money Matters with Carol at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Carol, unfortunately, is not well. And so we send her all the healing vibes. So she will not be doing Money Matters with Carol today. That will be rescheduled to a later date. So appreciate your understanding, and we're sending good vibes to Carol as she navigates her wellness, and hope she gets to feeling better really soon. Also, don't forget tomorrow, you guys, we will be having Scott Mason continuing our magnetizing and monetizing your personal and professional freedom with talking about last week we talked about toxic myths. This week we are talking about envisioning. So that'll be coming up tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we have another episode of Divine DNA with the Jacksons, Donnell and Angelique, giving your relationships a little boost. So be sure to tune in to that as well. Thank you, Amanda, for standing for love with us as well. Lots of goodness going on this week on the Breakthrough Show Network. So let's see what we have for birthdays. So my friend Nicole Meltzer's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Nicole. And also one of my favorite people, my TikTok friends, always comes and shows support on here and on the shows and on my text messaging community and on TikTok. Chris L's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Chris. And I'm not going to say your name because it would not be a birthday gift, okay? Because I cannot pronounce your last name. Chris L is what it is. Also in the celebrity world, Bono from U2's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Bono. Actor and comedian Kenan Thompson. You guys remember him from Nickelodeon, all that. Now he's on Saturday Night Live. Happy birthday, Kenan. One of the most incredible dancers, actors out there, Fred Astaire's birthday was today. Happy birthday, Fred Astaire. And I don't know if you guys know him from America's Got Talent. Matt Franco, magician Matt Franco that won America's Got Talent. His birthday is today. And he is actually a friend of my cousin Jimmy, who is a magician himself and has been on the Breakthrough Show before. And they've done shows together and everything else. And it was so cool for I know Jimmy to see him be on America's Got Talent and all of that stuff. So we're wishing Matt Franco a very happy birthday today. You can actually, I think we talk about it. I think we talk about it when Jimmy's on the episode. You guys can go back and check that out at thebreakthroughshow.com. Yes. Who loves orange soda? I know it, Keenan. He's hysterical, by the way. Anyway, so those are our birthdays today. Let's get our drum roll on, and then we can. Oh, I have a new birthday song too. When we're done, when we're done singing, just get ready because we have a birthday song. Okay, it's brand new today. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matt Franco, Fred Astaire, Kenan Thompson, Bono, Nicole Meltzer, and Chris L, because I can't pronounce your last name. Happy birthday to you. Yes, and here we go. What do y'all think? Do you like the birthday song? Yes. I had to make something special for my birthdays. So we'll be listening to that in the mornings now too. And also for my hosts, any of my hosts, I think Juju's here this morning. If you're watching, you can get that video in your promo folder. And when you're celebrating birthdays on your show, there it is. You can use that now as well. Yes, absolutely. Oh, the Jacksons are here too. What's up, Mr. Jackson? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow, Scott Mason, tune in for that. We, of course, will have birthdays, national days, all of that good stuff. And it'll be a good time. Thank you guys for watching or listening. Special thank you to our guest today, Laura Mazzotta. And remember to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.
Hello to the Breakthrough Show. It's Sherry.